It's Sunday, March 1st, 2026, and we have a lot to discuss today. As the 60th day of the year, we are facing two more winter storms, severe weather, and even a blood red moon this upcoming week. The two winter storms on the horizon are not likely to bring the snow day you might hope for. Instead, they will result in significant ice accumulation, and the northeastern United States will be coated in ice. While even further north in Canada, heavy snowfall will pose a threat. A Day 4 and Day 6 severe weather risk has been issued, which is quite rare. Anything above a Day 3 outlook is usually considered uncommon, but a Day 6 risk is particularly unusual, indicating that the Storm Prediction Center has high confidence in these storms approaching on the future radar. Notably, the Day 4 risk was also a Day 6 risk just 2 days ago. Additionally, there will be a total lunar eclipse, causing the moon to appear blood red. This event will be visible to nearly 2.5 billion people, which is approximately 31% of the Earth's population. So in today's forecast, I will break down everything that you need to know about these events happening this week. And to start off today's forecast, I want to go ahead and take a look at our ice accumulation here. So as you can see right now, there's not much ice accumulation, obviously, as there's not too many winter storms out there. However, we do have a few winter storms, sort of like winter storm warnings just scattered all across the northern parts of the United States. But what I really want to highlight is all the chances for ice today. That is why, or not today, but I want to highlight all of our chances for ice, and that is why we have this model pulled up here. And so over the next few days, we'll have some ice start to sort of accumulate up in here in parts of Nebraska, not even Nebraska, mainly just the Kansas states, moving on into Missouri. And then as we move on throughout the day, ice accumulation will just continue to form all across the northeast United States, bringing lots of ice as we move through March 4th, about 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. So yeah, there will be lots of ice down here, mainly in the Missouri, Kansas area, as well as some scattered ice accumulation all on the eastern coast, even some up there in parts of New England, guys. So if you are up there in the New England area, make sure to be watching out for a little bit of ice that could accumulate around sort of Halifax, even into parts of St. John's. In all of those areas. However, there will not be anything above like 0 inches, I guess you could say. So there won't be like really much. There will be a decent amount, but not a lot. However, there will be the whole Northeast being pretty much coated in a cover of ice. That was the NAM model. Now I want to go and take a look at our national blend of models, showing pretty much every single one of the models combined into one, so that we can sort of view all of the ice accumulation that will be possible throughout the next few days of multiple different views. So as we move on into early March 4th, March 5th time frame, probably about 6 to 12 a.m. on March 6th. There will be lots of ice accumulating. So this is sort of our average here, I guess you could say. And our average is just saying that we will be seeing lots and lots of ice throughout all of the Northeast. And this is sort of why I said that the whole entire Northeast will be coated in ice. As we can see right here, lots of ice, guys. It's even some back over there close to Regina, Canada. Some down south, just south of Cincinnati. Some south of Louisville, Kentucky, even into parts of the Raleigh areas. Sorry, I almost said Riley areas. But there will be lots of ice coatings all up in here in the Northeast. So that would be definitely something to keep an eye out for. And if you are in the Northeast, be prepared for all of this ice. Now I want to go and take a look here at our precipitation type, otherwise known as our sort of simulated radar here. There will be a high pressure system moving over parts of the sort of the northeast over the next few days. Now, there will be a threat of some isolated sleet with a mix of snow up there in the Missouri area. So if you're in Missouri, be aware of the threat for some sleet, freezing rain. This will begin to move off through the coast, moving sort of just through Louisville and Cincinnati, moving just off into Virginia as plain snow instead of sleet mix. So there will still be a threat to keep an eye out for that. There won't be much happening over the next few weeks, really, other than obviously all this freezing rain here, as well as a little bit of snow and sleet back over here in areas like Cheyenne, or however you pronounce that, in parts of Wyoming. And then, yeah, nothing too crazy will really occur as we move through the very early weeks early week. Because this is our March 5th time frame here. There will be a little bit of some scattered rain all across the United States, bringing some light thunderstorms with it. However, our main threat is over here back in the Oklahoma City, Dallas area for our sort of Wednesday time frame, and then our Friday time frame could get extended up into parts of Iowa, but from now on it is sort of just like, from now it is like this big, I believe, but we'll take more of a closer look at that right now. So, matter of fact, here's our severe weather outlook for Wednesday, March 4th. There is a 15 to 29% chance of severe weather. Keep in mind, this is a level 1 out of 2 risk, and this will be considered a day 3 risk tomorrow, so we will be able to use or sort of a look at the official, like, severe weather outlook, I guess you could say, by the National Weather Service. This is still unofficial, but I don't really like these long-term ones as much as I do the shorter-term ones, just due to the way that these ones are sort of laid out, and it doesn't have as much of a probability list, I guess you could say. But now let's go ahead and take a look at our Day 6 severe weather outlook. This is ranged through parts of Missouri, all the way ranging down into parts of sort of eastern DFW area, in sort of the DFW metro area, in Texas. So this will bring a threat of some isolated tornadoes, damaging winds, large hail, and our main threat will be some pretty significant flooding, as we also have a significant rainfall outlook in place for much of the United States, sort of all of these sort of areas down here, which will just bring lots of rain throughout March. Now I would like to take a look at our composite reflectivity here, as this is how we can sort of view all of these storms on a sort of like more in-depth weather map here, or like the radar that you would normally see whenever you are like looking at the radar for whenever you have storms impacting your areas. So our main threat will obviously begin to kick off on Wednesday, March 4th. So as we move on into Tuesday, just some rain showers scattered across the United States. And then as we move on into the March 4th time frame, sort of the afternoon of Tuesday, we will get a little bit of rain showers just continuing to stay, producing a little bit of light thunderstorms scattered all across the eastern coast, with some light to moderate rain up in areas like Colorado. And then we get our rain showers start to form later on in the night of March 4th. And nothing looks too crazy, sort of, as we move on to the early morning hours of Wednesday, March 4th, but that is when things will really begin to pick up, I guess you could say, later on in the day. In the Missouri areas, our Dallas-Fort Worth area will not be as considered as a pretty significant threat. However, our significant threat will be in parts of Missouri and Arkansas, and moving through the Tennessee Valley, through parts of northern Mississippi, and then carrying a little bit of severe weather through southern Michigan, including parts of Detroit, but those will be just some moderate to light thunderstorms. And as we move into Friday, we can see our significant storms here start to line up. As we move, like I said, on into Friday, March the 6th. It doesn't look as significant on these long-term models like GFS model, but once we get closer up to it, we can look at the HRRR model and see, or HRRR model and the RRFS model, and we will be able to see our more significant storms, but this will really begin to kick off as we move on to the late Friday night hours on into Saturday. So I will most likely be doing live coverage for this event on Friday. However, I will not be able to go live on Wednesday unless it is sort of after school hours, because obviously I have school, I'm an athlete, and everything like that. So I have school, sports, and everything like that, and I don't end up getting home till about 4-ish o'clock. But if it's any time past 4-ish o'clock on Wednesday, I should be able to do a little bit of live coverage, if not a live briefing on this system on Wednesday and Friday. We will definitely be doing live coverage Friday night on into Saturday morning. Now I want to go and take a look at our snow totals here, as this is how we can view all of the snow that we will be seeing throughout the next few days. It's sort of just like, it speaks for itself. Total snow, like snow totals, obviously means that how much snow you'll be able to see. And beginning tonight, there will be not really much snow building up across the United States, other than parts of like St. Louis, Missouri, into parts of Illinois. Sorry about that. As well as some scattered snow showers all across the northeastern United States. Not too much snow totals will be a threat throughout the U.S., but as we move on into March 2nd, all this snow will begin to sort of build up back over here in the Salt Lake City, Denver areas, including parts of Colorado and Utah, as well as into parts of Wyoming, like including Cheyenne, Wyoming, or Cheyenne, however you pronounce that. And yeah, snow will just begin to build up throughout the next few-ish days, including especially a part of the western coast. Up there in the Pacific Northwest, there will be lots of snow build up. Now, this is just sort of bringing a whole bunch of snow up here to the northeast. Now, this is, I'll get a reading for y'all in just a second about approximately how much snow this is. But I just want y'all to know that if you ever see these 7.16, 13.28, 14, 51.34 inches of snow, guys. If you live up here near Prince Rupert or whatever, in this, I believe this is in Canada, just close to the Alaska border there, there will be tons of snow buildup if you are sort of in this brownish area. And if you are in there, be sure to be watching the weather, as snow will be building up a lot up there. So there will be a pretty significant threat of snow up there. However, there will still be a threat of snow to build up in the United States over the next few days. So this will be something that we are watching. This was our European model here. I don't believe we're going to take another look at another model here for today, but this is what things will be looking like as we move through March 7th. Tons of snow over here in the western coast, as well as a little bit of snow buildup just close to Boston, Massachusetts, sort of more to the north, sort of northwest areas. However, lots of snow will be building up in parts of Canada, especially back over here in the Pacific Northwest. So that will be lots of stuff to keep an eye on here, as there will be tons of snow building all around the U.S. And will be a big threat of snow throughout the next few days, including parts of Canada. Now, I do want to end this video with taking a look at our blood moon here. This is sort of our time zone map here of what time you'll be able to see this. This will occur on March 3rd, which is just 2 days away from today. And at the sort of top middle of the screen, that is what the moon will sort of be tinted like. I know I can't see the full image, and I apologize for that. But this sort of chart here was made by Matt Devitt Weather, so huge shout out to him for making this chart. So yeah, 6:04 to 7:02 a.m. Eastern time zone is when you will be able to sort of see the moon turn this tint. So a lot of people will be having to wake up early to see this, including Central Time, which is 5:04 to 6:02 a.m., 4:04 to 5:02 a.m. in Mountain Time, and 3:04 to 4:02 a.m. in Pacific Time. So if you are in any of these colors, if you know where you are, if not, I highly suggest you research that and know that. But that is what time you'll be seeing this. I, however, am here in the Central Time Zone, So I might be doing a little bit of a live feed here of me like trying to find it, and if I'm not live, I will do a YouTube short of me looking at it, and just a video of what it looks like here from northwestern Alabama, just close to the Russellville area. So I will let y'all know what it looks like down here, and I will see y'all in the next video. Thanks to everybody for tuning in. I hope you got something out of this video. Make sure to go ahead and leave a like down below and subscribe. Turn on post notifications bell so that way you are updated whenever we post a new video. And I will see y'all next time. Thanks for tuning in. Peace.